Being a police officer is not an easy job by any means. It is certainly not an easy job under conditions of maximum stress. But it is very hard to look at the videos that we have been seeing from all across the country, and particularly this one video we're going to show you, which you may have seen, and not conclude that there is something deeply broken in the culture of policing in America, something that is at the core of the crisis this nation is now experiencing. Now, this is a really upsetting and graphic video, so be warned. In downtown Buffalo last night, 75-year-old Martin Gugino, who's a longtime peace activist there, approached a group of officers at a protest, just walking up to them. Here's what happened next.
He is fleeing! He's not of ears! He's not of ears! He's bleeding out of his ear! Get him better!
That's just 15 seconds of that video that you saw. And in just those 15 seconds, that scene is an entire syllabus on how the culture of policing is broken. What has happened to it, how it operates, and how it has essentially created a whole that is worse than the sum of its parts.
Late today, 57 officers from that department resigned from the unit to protest what? Their colleague's suspension. All of this a day after Buffalo police were also photographed kneeling with protesters, in fact, in the very same spot. This side by side tells you there is nuance, but there is also much that needs to change. It's not just New York. Instances like this are happening around the nation. Indianapolis police investigating officers seen here firing pepper balls at a woman and striking her with a baton. You can see that there. A video out of Chicago shows an officer chasing and punching a protester. Police department opening an internal review of that incident, again, caught on homemade video. Another one shows LA police officers striking protesters. You'll see, boom, with batons again. And again, you can see that is, I could tell you as an attorney, textbook evidence of excessive force because the individuals appear unarmed and docile as they are hit repeatedly, you see, with these batons. Again, I'm sorry that this is disturbing, but we are documenting this in the news because it needs to be shown. Now take this video showing Philadelphia police hitting civilians with batons. You can hear the outrage and concern. You can see the shoving. Tackling the woman to the ground, ultimately. Almost like a melee here. You see her trying to get away basically from the attack. Local news report that officer is no longer on street patrol, and there is a local investigation of the incident. We're seeing a disturbing police response in New York as well, where there have been some of the largest protests and where the mayor, who happens to be a Democrat, has been choosing to continue to issue these curfews. Here's officers beating protesters, hitting them with batons, throwing people to the ground, striking, again, people who appear not to pose an imminent threat, and who appear, some of them who are getting hit, to be unarmed. New York's elected officials, though, I want you to see this with your own eyes before I play the next clip. This is what happened. You can see multiple people getting hit. You can see the batons. You can see it looks like a melee. But here is New York leadership seeming to downplay what you just saw with your own eyes when asked about it.
A lot of restraint from the NYPD overall. The NYPD has actually taken, I think, a very open approach, respecting protest, flexible as always.
Police bludgeon peaceful protesters with batons for no reason. That's not a fact. They don't do that. Anyone who did do that would be obviously reprehensible, if not criminal.
We try to show you all the facts here so you can make up your own mind. We showed you the videos, that's the evidence, and we showed you the response from those two New York leaders, who both happen to be Democrats. Mayor de Blasio, a very liberal Democrat when he came into office. This is why the issue is so big. This is why this is so much bigger than politics or even who's president. This is why when people talk about structural racism and a lack of accountability, they're talking about something bigger than red or blue. The New York Times, reacting to that, today saying Mayor de Blasio is unwilling to confront the reality the department is failing to meet the demands this moment. Governor Cuomo also shying away from the problem.
Let's go. Put your helmets on. Miguel, stay with me. Okay, we got gas.
Moments after that, I was hit in the leg with a rubber bullet while still on camera. And sometime after that, having just been shot at and tear gassed and without any protesters around us, my team and I and a foreign TV crew attempted to retreat, encountering police and National Guard at another intersection. We approached slowly with our hands in the air, announcing we're media. They heard us and they responded with "We don't care," and they opened fire again. On Tuesday in New York City, I asked police why a perimeter line had been established just west of Union Square, where you see us here. There was no evident risk to anyone's safety in us getting closer to cover the removal of quiet, calm protesters who had been arrested for breaking curfew. The police officer's response suggested that if I did not move back, and I was already on the right side of the line, I might be arrested. In New York City, for covering the transfer of peaceful protesters who were under arrest and zip-tied into a van. Several of my colleagues from NBC and other outlets encountered danger in the last 11 days. All of us went back into the field because we exist as journalists to bear witness and to hold power to account. We bear witness to what is happening out there on the streets of America, and that is how we hold power.